Alright, guys, it's List Game Ontario 144. We got to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, the arcade version. Here I'm with my buddy Alistair. Alistair, you really love Ninja Turtles, don't you?
No.
No.
I don't.
I thought you were, all this time, I was like, oh, he loves Ninja Turtles. He's so excited to play this game.
I like that game because it's an arcade game that I played a lot as a kid. But other than that, I used to like Ninja Turtles a bit when I was a kid.
Right.
But I wasn't a big Ninja Turtles fan. I like the movies.
Okay. I don't know. For me, I used to read comics. I read some of the Ninja Turtles comics. And I played as many of the games like growing up, as a kid, you don't have as much money. And I watched the current show. I couldn't get into the last one. That was just too serious. But I'd say I'm a pretty big fan overall.
Yeah.
So
I would say you are definitely
from all that criteria.
You knew more than I did about the series.
Yeah.
And you definitely did. You ever see the TMT, or it's called TNMT CGI movie?
Yes.
I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like it either.
Yeah.
Did you like the last movie? That came out.
I didn't watch it.
You haven't seen it?
I didn't watch it because
Steroid Turtles?
I
came out
the steroid turtles. I'm not like I said.
They look like they're all on roids.
And I'm not a Michael Bay fan. And I heard he's producing.
Yes,
so
he did.
I don't know. Something he produces, I'm kind of like, I don't want to see it.
And he has a thing against women and stuff. But we're not going to go there.
I don't even know that.
Yeah.
I just don't like his movies.
Apparently, because of Megan Fox and all that. But I think this game, it's a classic game. Having played the Super Nintendo version and this one, and the 3D one, I don't know. I think the HD remake, reshell.
It was like 3D.
Yeah, sorry.
3D. The Nintendo 3DS version.
I think this arcade game is a classic, but there's pros and cons as we went over between the Super Nintendo version and the arcade. Arcade has more sound clips, sort of panning in with the camera, panning out.
Yeah,
the Super Nintendo didn't have that.
The arcade version definitely has a lot of benefits to it.
Yeah.
I love hearing their one-liners. Yeah. Even though they all have the same voice.
20 times
apparently. Yeah. But yeah, that was
Super
fun.
Nintendo had more levels. That's why it's the 3D ones that they didn't have in the arcade version.
Okay.
So there's pros and cons to all of the different versions of these games. And Hyper Heist was sort of this game, but they sort of chopped things up. So there were a few different versions of like the same game, but slightly different. But whether this one's the definitive one, I don't know. I think the Super Nintendo one.
The definitive one?
Yeah.
The definite
one. This is definitely a good one.
It is.
Of the three, I think it's my favorite. The reshelled I like, but the music,
the reshell I'm looking forward to. I don't know much about it, so I'm gonna analyze the hell out of that game.
I don't want to affect his opinion.
Yeah, don't tell me about it yet.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. It's next week, right? We're doing that
we could play it sometime between now and next week, and you can give your opinion on it and figure it out.
But I will say that the arcade one has a lot of memories for me. There's not a lot of bad things I can say, but of course, it's a coin eater. Or what's the term phrase? What's the phrase?
Muncher?
No, there's the coin. It's a coin. You're a coin muncher.
Damn, you're arcade game. You're a coin muncher.
That sounds like something a dirty teen would say. Dirty teenagers.
My bad. I thought of word muncher, and I just from back in the day. I'm dating myself again.
No, I don't know what the word is. There is a word for it though. Coin guzzler. God, these are just dirty. These are just dirty.
Just guzzling the toys.
Oh boy.
Guzzling the toys. Stop guzzling my toys.
Well, I know you said you didn't like swearing on your channel, but I don't know if this is worse.
But
or,
I can't. No, it's fine. But I can't think of the right term. I'm just making up terms as I go along by accident.
But yeah. Okay. Well, my point
Coin
is,
muncher, coin.
it takes a lot of
eater.
coins. And
Yeah,
so like,
scholar.
if you're playing in the arcade, you're gonna end up spending way too much money.
It's probably $20 to beat this game.
So it's not, you know, you go to any arcade, you're not playing to beat a game, you're playing to have.
Unless you really like it.
Yeah, unless you really like it, but most of the time you're just playing to have fun and, you know, get some points or something like that.
Shredder wasn't as hard as I remembered. I know that we were sort of faking the coins and, you know, we had as many lives as we wanted.
I had
thought it'd be a lot harder.
245 coins by the end. I don't even know why. You gave me a bunch of lives. Were you just spamming it? Like, I wasn't looking, but apparently he was just spamming it.
Just as you were getting ready to play the game, I'm like, yeah, give him a lot of coins. Anyways, but no, this game, it's a really good game. It's got its pros. We covered the pros and cons. But I think I really have to say the Super Nintendo version, they added the extra levels. You lost some animation and sounds, but I really, going back to this and seeing the difference years later, I really do prefer the Super Nintendo. It makes you realize how well they did.
We should try the Super Nintendo one because I've never
Yes.
tried it, and I should analyze that one too.
And Shredder didn't. What I found really weird is usually the boss of these type of games are super hard, and Shredder didn't seem how hard.
No, who was the hardest one? It was the two. I think the hardest
Token
ones
Resnar.
were
Resnar.
yeah. I guess that's the name.
Yeah.
The turtle and the dog. The turtle dog people.
Yeah.
There's turtle
Tokus
dog
the
people.
dog. Tokus the
We're getting
dinosaur.
off kilter here.
No.
You're like,
Am I gone?
You're like
no,
right
I'm still right
behind
there. Sweet. We're still good. But compared, do you remember the other Turtles game? Do you
which
like
one?
this one better than the arcade game that came out first?
Is this the arcade one or?
No, this is the one that came after, the Turtles in Time. They did the arcade game and then they did the Turtles in Time game that we played today.
Okay, because Turtles in Time was an arcade game too,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one I played.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, so what? Is there a different? So this one we played, isn't this the arcade one?
There's two arcade games, but
This is
the
the
one
other
that came out on the Nintendo, the one that came after the game that you don't like, the top down, that sort of, Turtles in Time goes through all the different time eras, right?
Yeah.
The previous one just goes throughout, Manhattan, essentially.
Okay.
And then you fight Shredder, but this one, he's pretty much on roids, just like the Turtles are in the movies.
Yeah, he was like 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
Like
he was like the Undertaker.
I was
Shredder.
saying like he's supposed to be like a ninja, right? So how is he supposed to?
He looked more like a wrestler in this game.
He looked like not a very good ninja because he'd be bulky and
And he's
walking
got his little
everywhere, like,
lightsaber. He's got a green lightsaber.
he's got a lightsaber. Those make a lot of noise. So if he was walking around, just imagine it. He'd be like, just like it would. He would just be. He would not be sneaky.
No.
It would be
You'd
bad.
hear his lightsaber from a very far distance away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his lightsaber didn't seem. It seemed like a plastic toy. Actually.
He looked like this
Didn't
big
look-
8-foot guy with a plastic toy just going.
Plastic lightsaber.
And
Maybe
he had
that's
some.
why. Maybe it's not a lightsaber. Maybe it's a mutagen stick.
Mutagen stick.
That's why the turtles get turned back into baby turtles.
Oh, okay. Well, you seem to know more about this stuff than
I'm
me.
just assuming this stuff.
I'm just assuming. I don't know. You know what? They're gonna make these into toys. They gotta make them look profitable.
Yes.
So let's just put some things that they know kids like lasers,
Star Wars.
lightsabers, pizza,
Yeah.
and some nunchucks and
And
swords.
bombs.
and
The bomb that was on the
Yes,
item box. It's
Oh,
like
boy.
bombs. It's not that.
That's
So-
that's not a good
Good thing to
thing.
add into games.
to
Have bombs as
commercialize. That's not a good thing you want to say. Like, I know
Yeah.
they probably commercialize, but they don't want to be like straight up. You know what? they're gonna have a meeting. And they're gonna be there, and they're gonna be like, you know what? Kids like bombs. Let's make toys with bombs. That's not a meeting you're gonna see.
That's on
Nowadays.
you're gonna keep your job in.
You'd see it in the 90s though. You would see that in the 90s. And this does own very much to the 90s.
Yeah, well, early
That's
90s.
where it came out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think I can recommend this game, but I lean towards the Super Nintendo version. The reshelf's cool, but it's not my preferred one.
It's not his preferred one because he didn't grow up with it. The nostalgia purposes, I'd say.
Sure.
And for this, I'd say this one is closest to the arcade game, I guess. I don't know if there's a difference because I don't remember there being. I just remember it went from Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, then to a boat, to the ship. So I don't remember that one place in between with the pterodactyls and all that.
Okay.
So I don't know which version I played, but that's the one I like.
You're probably mixing the two arcade games together, I think.
I think I am.
So.
I don't know.
Didn't remember
I like
parts of this one. I was surprised.
I liked it.
I would give it a thumbs up.
I'd give it 5 out of 5. Go play it. You know, if you never play this game, it's an essential beat 'em up that you have to play in the history of video games. In video game.
I'm not sure if I'd give 5 out of 5, but I'd say it's definitely a classic.
Even if you're not a Turtles fan, just play it. It's a fun game.
Definitely play it. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
You have to play this if you're a gamer. It's one of the best. Just the way that they had just enough enemy soldiers, foot soldiers.
No, they had a lot of Nintendo games. You can't have that many.
Yeah.
They had a bunch on screen. It was nice. It wasn't lagging, and it was perfect. It was
great.
And muy bueno.
All right. Well, we'll try the reshelled and go from there. Hopefully, we'll make another one.
Yeah. Hey.
All right.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Keep on gaming, guys. Take care.